I want to start this video out by saying, don't speak ill of the dead. So, as some of you may have heard, TotalBiscuit, aka John Peter Bain, was a fellow YouTuber, big in the gaming industry, and he recently lost his battle with cancer. He wasn't that old, and this is very sad, not only for the community as a whole, as you can see plenty of those in the gaming industry reaching out and sending their condolences, but also his family. This is someone who did have a family, and just because someone is a critic and might say some things, and that is their persona on YouTube, doesn't make them a bad person. Not only that, he was calling out some legitimate stuff as well. He was a solid YouTuber. I never watched a ton of his content just because there is a lot out there. But from everything I understand, he did have a pretty big following and was very influential. However, some people who worked on games that he criticized don't seem to have the same feeling during his passing. So I just want to mention first that this is an ex-BioWare employee. X, which is important. I'm not sure when he got fired. He might have been fired after these comments, or he might have already stopped working for them before. But I do want to point out that this is an ex-BioWare employee. And this ex-BioWare employee, his name is David Crooks. And after the passing, he said, quote, "Weird, the world just felt a little bit better sometime around an hour and a half ago. Maybe it was those new running shoes I got for my run home." So, could have been anything, who knows. And he says, "Oh wait, I know, it's because TotalBiscuit died." Really? That someone died, they didn't like your work? Maybe your work wasn't great, who knows? Even if they just disagreed with it, your work would be considered art, not everyone has to like it, and they die and you celebrate that? This isn't like, our mortal enemy or something. This is just a guy. He then went on to post, "Hey everyone, watch this. I know it's rude to piss on someone's grave, but these axes aren't going to grind themselves." He then continues his rant. "How about the time that he was the center point of not one, but two major games I worked on, dishing out a plethora of criticism that was less than useful and didn't help anyone, and are still some of his most viewed videos?" So he seems to be upset that his criticisms, a lot of people agreed with them. I'm not sure where he's going here, but he is on a Twitter rant at this point. So he continues on. Or even just the little things like obsessing over my graphics to a degree that went beyond comical and was just plain uneducated. Then he tries to call him out for not addressing his own fan base. He says, or maybe just the fact that he never addressed his repeatedly toxic fan base, which was so abusive that he could send independent game developers into hiding because of the abuse he knowingly wielded and threw around like a whiny child. I have to say, there's only one whiny child in this particular instance, and it's David Crooks. David Crooks then says, "His voice and irresponsibility with which he wielded it without apparently much care from him, or if he did, it was too little too late, has hurt a multitude of people along the way. He's pissed me off a dozen ways, but at least I've never been threatened by his force. I'm saying this for myself, but I might as well be saying this for those who were and still could be. F that guy, 9 ways to Sunday and good riddance to bad rubbish." That's the kind of stuff that's normally reserved for really bad people, not just an online internet YouTube critic. But Flying Toaster summed it up best and said, "You're a horrible human being." After check-in, David Crooks has since made his Twitter account private. It used to be public when he was making those comments, and seems to have deleted his LinkedIn page as well. I'm not sure if anything has to do with him now being an ex-BioWare employee, but Casey Hudson of BioWare did comment on this, and he says the following: "I was extremely disappointed to find out about the comments on the passing of John Bain, TotalBiscuit, from someone who was previously part of BioWare. Let me be clear that they don't represent BioWare's views, EA's, or my own. Our condolences go out to John and his family." That's all you have to say, and good on Casey Hudson for stepping up and addressing this, even though it is a former employee, or if even better, he was fired over this. I'd also like to wish my condolences to the friends and family of TotalBiscuit, aka John Bain. And I have a link below in the description for a GoFundMe page for his family. Well, that's all for this news update, and we'll see you next time.